Thumbs up. Here we go. The meeting's called to order. It's June 4th, 7 p.m., 2026. Please note that this meeting is being made available to the public through a video and audio broadcast on Comcast Government Access Channel for broadcast at future dates. Comments made in open session will be recorded. Okay, you can open the public hearing. There. 49 Center Street.
I have copies of the map. Oh, thank you. That's fine.
Yes, I have.
You have that? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have?
I think so. Thanks.
Please state your name.
My name is Saini Gay Jai. I'm here regarding the request of determination of applicability for 49 Center Street. So my proposed work consists of removal some trees in my backyard. Some of them have already been fallen or dead or old, and additional trees just to help establish a lawn area. So the plan is to add grass there and then cover it up as soon as fill is filled and everything is flattened. And the goal is really to just have a place for my kids to play. So on Center Street, it's a busy road, lots of cars go by, and so they're not able to play in the front yard. And so our goal is to establish lawn to be able to play in the backyard. And then we wanted to see whether or not this would be allowed because it is next to the wetland buffer zone. Before we understood all the rules, we did start some of the work, but once we were told about some of these rules and regulations, then we did stop, and then we submitted a form right away to be at this hearing.
So just for some background for folks on the commission, the building inspector and I were alerted to the work that was being done at the site. The same day we got that notification from an abutter, we did go and visit the site and talked to the property owner who stopped all work. And we asked that he stop all work at that point. And the applicant's been extremely cooperative with us.
Okay. The lot itself looks pretty clear. Are those all dead trees? The ones that don't have leaves on them, it looks like?
Yeah.
You mentioned there was a bunch of dead trees.
There was a bunch of dead trees. So we started already clearing some of it, but there's still some there.
And you plan on removing those?
Yeah.
And there are some healthy trees, though, that you're going to cut?
So the area that you're seeing now, those are shrubs mostly, not full-grown trees.
Those are shrubs.
Brush, right?
Yeah.
Like native, no, you didn't plant shrubs, it's native, natural brush.
I think so, yeah.
Siltsock.
So where's the area of disturbance, though? I'm not seeing.
There isn't. It's.
Where were trees taken?
She hasn't taken any, but there are some dead ones
Okay.
that she's going to
So
pull.
there were some that we took out, but the majority were dead, yeah.
Okay, were they within the tree, the tree line shown on the map that you gave us?
Yeah, so within that area is the place where we want to establish lawn.
Okay.
Is there water going through the property?
Not that I can tell. No, it's pretty dry there. We do have, the easement area, what's that called? The easement area?
A drainage easement?
A drainage easement, and where there's rocks and there's a pipe going through on the left side of the property, but I don't see a lot of water being drained there.
Do you have any plans to go further back in the future?
We haven't, no. You mean far across our property?
Yeah.
No, we haven't really gone back
Well,
there.
actually, they can't
Oh, okay.
because it's resource area.
Right.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting.
So if you look at where the house is situated, it is within the buffer zone. So the house is within the buffer zone, so the backyard is in the buffer zone.
Right.
And I think also, and correct me if I'm not accurate, but this yellow line is your limit of work for this?
Right.
And that's where the silt sock is proposed to go, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You mean the board, like the barriers? Yes, exactly.
Yes. 10-inch silt sock, I think, should do it.
You're clearing, putting a lawn in, how much fill and stuff, what's going on there?
So we just wanted to level it out because before we were there, I think they just leveled up like the first couple of feet. And so,
So you're more interested in just like not backfilling and raising it up as much as making a lawn with what's there with minimal adaptation to what you have to do.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Well, members of the board, I would like to suggest markers be
Yes.
placed.
Yes.
4x4 post, about, Brad, what are they, about a foot high, 16 inches high? Brad Holmes,
Well,
border markers,
Usually
With-
4x4 posts, usually I'll go get an 8-foot 4x4 pressure treated post, cut it in half, so you get 4 feet, put 2 feet in the ground, 2 feet up, and then put a plaque on it. It's usually conservation officers have the plaques.
Yeah.
but
yep, no activity beyond this point.
okay. And he'll send you his bill.
No, you can do these yourself.
Okay.
It is good to cut them on a slight angle so you can actually see the plaque
Okay.
instead of black down on, when you cut in the middle.
Okay.
And there won't be any stockpiling
Of what?
Uh,
Of,
of any debris or anything
No.
in the backyard. Because you're in the buffer zone.
Do you have a location to take the debris to?
say it again?
Do you have a location where you're going to take the debris to?
So right now, we don't have any debris.
From the shrubs you cut down?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess what location would you guys recommend? I'm not sure. Is it like a dump yard, you mean, like a dumpster?
Or maybe wood
Whatever
chips, you could use it to go around your edge with.
Yeah.
You know, you could use it that way and, keep it there.
Okay. Okay.
They have price drop off at the recycling center, don't they?
Yes,
Okay.
On Saturdays?
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Or wood chips.
Yeah.
Okay.
all righty. Any other questions from anybody? Anything from the public? Okay, would someone make a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay, how about a motion for conditions and discussions? For a order of conditions?
Do we have to vote on the last thing first?
What's that?
Do we have to vote on closing the meeting?
We did that?
Oh,
We just had a second.
So now we need to
Call
do
for the
the-
vote.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't,
Call for the
I
vote.
didn't,
All in favor?
yeah, I was doing good up until that point.
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. Okay. Again, we closed. Order of conditions
Well, you want to
and
issue,
discussions.
you need to issue a determination here.
Oh, this is a -3 determination for an RDA.
Which is not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you forming a motion, Mr. Chair?
Yes, make the motion. You just did?
Were you?
Or I did, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Do we also want to mention as conditioned? for the
yes,
discussion?
for the conditions, 10-inch silt socks and no stockpiling and border markers and anything else that was discussed that may be pertinent.
Stakes in the silt sock stated.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you're
coming.
good.
Do you need to do the brief?
Please note that any person aggrieved by this decision has a right of appeal within 10 business days. Please contact our office or DEP if you need assistance. Okay. Next up. Next up, we have a notice of intent for 99 Old Washington Street, DEP number 056-1143. Please state your name and
Good evening, everyone. For the record, James Garfield, registered engineer with Morse Engineering.
thank you.
Here tonight representing the applicants, being Ursula and Stephen Cambrick. This is a notice of intent hearing associated with the construction of a new single-family dwelling at 99 Old Washington Street. If you look at our plan here, we've got our property line shown in bold. Old Washington Street is shown on the right-hand side of the page. The property is approximately 65,593 square feet in size, currently undeveloped woodland. The subject resource area is buffer zones to on-site and off-site bordering vegetated wetlands, which are shown in blue on the site plan. And we also have the 100-foot buffer zone shown in green on the site plan. Again, what we're proposing is to construct a new 3-bedroom single-family dwelling shown here, as well as a detached pole barn shown there. These will be accessed via a new paved driveway off of Old Washington Street, rather, shown here. And the driveway has been designed so that the applicant can pull their RV onto the site. They'll pull in front of the proposed home, and then be able to back into this pole barn. That will not only provide storage for that RV, but also as a safety measure so that they're not backing the RV out onto this corner of Old Washington Street. We're proposing a new Title V compliant septic system consisting of a 1,500-gallon septic tank and 5 outlet D-box and infiltrator leaching chamber bed, which will again exit out the front of these buildings. The new house will be serviced by subsurface water and electric services. We're proposing a 12-inch mulch sock around our entire limit of work across the site. We are not proposing any work to any BVW itself. The applicant is, or they would like to make a donation to the tree fund, knowing that we are removing some trees on this site, and that they're also understanding that the commission will likely ask for conservation markers. They're amenable to that as well, but they wanted to have the commission's recommendation as to where to put those. So with that, I'll turn it back for any questions.
Okay, the driveway, are you sloping it away from the resource area?
So
Where
currently,
is the runoff?
yeah, so currently we're coming uphill onto the site. So the drainage is heading back towards the road, but it's cross-pitched. There's currently along Old Washington Street here, along our property as well as the property to the north, there's a swale that runs along just past the shoulder. So all of our drainage for that driveway is being cross-pitched to that low point. Eventually, it does make it down to the wetland, but not before.
Right,
some
so it's
overland flow.
filtered naturally. Very good. Stockpiling?
We don't show it on the plan. I imagine we'll probably have soil stockpiling in this area, not on top of where the leaching field will go, but somewhere in the front here.
Okay. Anyone else?
Do you have an idea of the amount of the donation for trees?
Sorry?
The amount of donation of the trees, do you have any idea?
Andrew, do you have an idea of a reasonable amount?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it reasonable.
standard.
It's standard, and in this case, about $150.
So 15 trees basically, around there.
I actually want to bring up a point with this. So I know we had discussed it previously, and maybe we can add it to the next agenda if Mr. Chair is amenable to it, but I'd like to discuss the tree fund itself and how that's structured in our next meeting. Just because
Yeah, sure.
inflation and yada yada and this and that.
Good timing.
Are you amenable?
Yeah.
Agree?
Now, keep in mind, in many cases, the new trees will be planted at this site. The tree fund is for plantings elsewhere in
Right.
town. Right.
Yep.
Yep.
I actually have a question, if that's all right.
Sure.
The plantings that are shown on the plan, what are those proposed to be? Because from my vantage point, they look like arborvitaes.
They are arborvitaes.
They are.
Okay, so arborvitaes, even when they're deer resistant, aren't really deer
Deer
resistant.
candy.
Northern
So-
white cedar
Yeah,
on
so,
both sides, they're native.
yeah, so probably an alternative to that,
Why?
to the
They're na-
arborvitae.
They're native.
The arborvitae?
Well, there's the white cedar, it's over there.
I
I'm
looked-
sorry, I
I
just
looked
wanna
it
make
up
sure
in
I
the
understand.
dictionary. Arborvitae is northern white cedar,
Right,
Yeah,
and that is native.
it's, and the white cedar is also native, which is a native, both of them are.
Yeah, well,
One's
it's
an
two
intercoastal.
different species.
The only thing that you could put that I know that deer will not put my reputation on this, won't eat is a Colorado blue spruce. They are prickly as can be.
just for longevity purposes, I mean, it's not anything that we can necessarily, but I just, you probably don't want to look at half-chewed
Sure, I can make a note
arborvitaes
of
all the
that.
way around your house, or their house, rather. I guess another question, is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, what is proposed for along, like behind the arborvitaes and all the way around? Is there going to be any kind of fencing or anything of that? I don't see fence on the plan.
No, there's no fencing currently shown. Nope.
Okay, so in terms of markers,
Yeah.
you are asking our recommendation on that. We have Mr. Brad Holmes provide an explanation of markers previously and how those can be installed, but how far apart do we want them?
And should they be GPS for future reference?
Ooh,
Yeah, this
That's
is another
techie.
job where the wetlands behind the property should be addressed with markers. And you were proactive by saying it, so we didn't have to.
so how far apart do we want to place them?
Brad would know.
I don't know.
What standard for placing the markers? Is it 20 feet, 15 feet, 25?
50
Yeah.
for posting
Same.
property.
50's pretty typical.
For posting property, 50 is the standard that they use for private property posting.
How wide is the parcel?
There you go.
150 feet? More than that, maybe.
It's a little bit more than that. It's roughly 180.
So you got room for two, easily, at 50 feet apart.
Would we like them, but would we like them to run along the rear as well as the southern lot line, seeing as we have two patches of
Yeah.
bordering vegetated wetland?
I'd like to see 2 along the back limit of work
Yeah.
and 2 along the front.
Okay.
They can be in between
I
the
wanna see the
plantings
GPS.
of whatever
So they
you
can't
so
move
land
them,
on.
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Anyone from the public have anything to?
I'm curious, what are you gonna do with the guardrail that's up
Could you
there?
come up to the podium, please?
Introduce himself.
My name is Richard Wright.
And your
I'm
address?
about at 95 Old Washington.
Thank you.
And I'm curious, there's a curve there in that road. And what are we gonna do with this guardrail that's there?
We're not touching the guardrail.
Where are you going in?
I can show you right
Show
here if you'd
me.
like. Sure. So this is that guardrail you're referring to?
Yeah.
It runs like that.
Okay.
So our entryway is going to be way up here,
Well,
and that's north.
that's my property over here, right?
You are number, 95.
Yeah.
Yep,
And you're gonna come in here?
on that corner,
And
yeah.
where is the water gonna go?
So it's cross-pitched, if you look at these contours, the water runs like that, and there's that low point that runs along the two properties, and it slopes that way. It's a low point, right next to the roadway there.
There's a low point, yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that wetlands?
This is the wetlands down here,
Okay.
so it all slopes down towards that.
How's it slope down when you're on a hill?
So it drains like
Because
this.
as you come around that guardrail, you go up a hill.
There might be a berm along the side of the road, but I can assure you just from our topography from the survey, it does go down. It's essentially a swale that runs along the side of Old Washington Street past that berm.
So the pitch of the street might make it a little bit,
Pour a bucket of water
can't
on
think
it.
of the word, it's
I'll check.
deceiving.
Camouflage.
It's deceiving that the road, because the road, you know, it doesn't
Simple.
dip up, but then the swale continues
Well,
down.
I'm concerned too about that situation where they come down that hill because already 3 or 4 cars have landed on our property coming around that curve because it gets pretty icy there.
Big
So
boulders.
scary.
Yeah. We have some of those.
That's not our jurisdiction.
Do you want to, that would be something that you absolutely, I mean, they have it on police report, but if you wanted to bring that to the attention of Mr. Joe Diuti with the DPW, then he can make amendments to that.
Is there like Department of Safety or something?
No.
Is it
No, so it's the highway department.
Highway Department.
Yeah.
You should
DPW, right?
probably go to the town manager's office, because he'd have to direct the
fair.
DPW.
And if it's in
Yeah,
a no
that
salt
makes
zone,
sense.
that could be,
What's
is
that?
it a no salt zone? Or
Yeah.
it is?
I believe it is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well,
Yeah, extra sand is required.
But
Gotta
that
put a
would
lot
be,
more sand.
that would be a good question for the DPW.
Yep, would be.
cost benefit analysis, we want to save some lives.
Well, I'm just
Okay.
concerned about where the water's gonna go because that is a low area. I get a lot of water out my front property there.
Well, as it was explained, if the water's
Well, it's not a
running
good
down
explanation, you know, it's like,
away from your property, then it shouldn't be an issue, correct? All
It
right.
could in
Thank you.
fact, it could in fact be an improvement.
Yes. Anyone else?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? None. Okay, now, order of conditions for this notice of intent. Can somebody make a motion for that?
I would like somebody else to make the motion because it was field day today and my brain is fried.
Jim, you want to make a motion, or Bobby?
I'll make a motion to accept the plan
Okay.
as outlined and to
Issue no order of conditions.
issue no order of conditions as outlined and with the extra stipulations that we have added on.
Yep. Border markers. And follow the plans and according to discussions.
It's a little rough, but I think we got it.
And
What's that?
take into
It's a little rough, but I think we got it.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. Please note that any person aggrieved by this decision has the right of appeal within 10 business days. Please contact our office or DEP if you need assistance. Thank you very much. Okay. We have a notice of intent for 46 Blueberry Lane, DEP number 056-1142.
Good evening, members of the commission. Brad Holmes with ECR on behalf of Joe Falcone for his property at 46 Blueberry Lane. We've submitted a notice of intent to permit 2 small additions to the existing home. The property is located to the south of Blueberry Lane. It sits on Stetson Pond. There's a small retaining wall that runs along the border of the pond, and that retaining wall acts as the inland bank to the pond. So with the inland bank, we have the 25-foot buffer zone and the 100-foot buffer zone. So the southern portion of the property is within the jurisdiction of the commission. What we're proposing is 2 small additions on either side of the existing house. They're not very large additions. They'll be constructed on a concrete slab where can access through the driveway, and storage of any materials can be outside the buffer zone. There aren't any flood zones on site or rare species habitat, so that the work is only within the buffer zone. It's landward of the 25-foot buffer. I believe it's something that is a permittable project, but it would require the commission to issue an order and have conditions like requiring erosion controls and oversight. So with that, I'll bring it back to the commission.
What did you say the 2 structures were that you're building down?
There's this here is a little insert window. This is a proposed addition and another proposed addition on this side of the house.
In red.
So the house is in the middle?
This is how the house is here,
Okay.
almost on top of the pond, almost.
All right.
Very close.
Yeah.
There's an existing home, there's an existing shed here. There's also a garage that's proposed further out, but beyond the buffer zone.
So it's in the back of the house, or the front of the house?
Front of the house, if you're facing Blueberry Lane.
Okay.
I know some pond people call the front of the house facing the pond.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so you addressed stockpiling and silt socks. And I don't see an issue. And anybody else have a question?
Where your storage, your,
We'll keep everything beyond the 100-foot buffer zone
Yep.
up in the front.
and that's more than that.
Will
Anyone
it
else?
be effect with the water runoff from the roof? Where you're making a larger roof? Is it gonna change the runoff?
I don't think it's going to change the runoff. They're very small additions on either side, so it's not going to be significant.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the proposed garage is outside?
Correct.
Completely.
Anyone else? Public comment? Would somebody like to close?
I'll make a motion to close.
Please do.
A motion to close with the activities as described in your plan.
Second?
All in favor?
I will be abstaining.
Abstaining from this one? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we need order of conditions. Someone make a motion for an order of conditions. Anyone?
I will make a motion for order of conditions for 14 William Avenue. Built as designated on the plans with the normal stipulations that we add to the order of conditions.
And just basic silt socks and
Yeah.
whatever, just based on discussion and project narrative and drawings or whatever. Give a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care, Brett. Please note that any person aggrieved by this decision has a right of approval within 10 business days. Please contact our office or DEP if you need assistance. And last but not least, We have a notice of intent, 660 Washington Street, DEP number 056-1140. And when you're done, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Kevin Grady from Grady Consulting, representing the applicant, Wolf Barn LLC, Don McGill, for the notice of intent. It was submitted for 660 Washington Street. The project is a multi-unit dwelling complex project, which is allowed under the zoning bylaw in the residential commercial district. The project is proposing 13 residential buildings with 22 total units on 10.3 acres of land. The project also is proposing access drive, 24-foot wide access drive, cul-de-sac turnaround, and portions of the project are located within conservation's jurisdiction. Specifically, the access drive, there's one dwelling that's located in the 100-foot buffer zone and 3 dwellings located within the outer riverfront area. The wetlands resource area was delineated by South River Environmental in September of 2024, and we submitted an ORAD and received an order of resource area delineation in August of 2025. The resource areas consist of border and vegetated wetland, intermittent stream, and perennial stream. I'll just open up the existing conditions just to refresh your memory, or if you weren't here when we did the ORAD. The flagged areas of the bordering vegetated wetlands. Look, I think that's supposed to be blue, but it looks purple. At least today it must be low on ink into that. There's an intermittent stream. A portion of McFarland Brook is intermittent, which was determined under the in the ORAD, and we followed the requirements in the notice of intent, witnessing it for multiple days. We actually witnessed it with the conservation agent, and we took photographic evidence, provided it, commission affirmed it. We did the same thing across the street a few years before, so the brook is intermittent in this location. There's also a intermittent stream here, which is fed from across the street as well. And when those two converge right here, that's when the river becomes perennial and runs throughout the year. So the riverfront area on the site is associated with the perennial portion where these two rivers converge, and you can see those in these larger outlines there. 100-foot buffer, and I believe that's a 50-foot buffer we added to the plans. So that's the existing conditions, topography, roadway, and details. The site we designed to minimize impacts to the wetland resource area to the maximum extent practical. The intent of the project was to locate the buildings and the driveway as far from the resource area as we could, and still develop a project that meets the zoning bylaw and also provides a viable project for the applicant. The closest building is located 58 feet from the BVW. The closest grading, with the exception of the access driveway, which I'll talk about shortly, is 37 feet from the BVW. We provided a sheet that details buffer zone and riverfront impact with a table detailing square footages, et cetera. So work within the 100-foot buffer zone. Maybe I'll go to sheet 28. There's a lot of sheets on here. Work within the 100-foot buffer zone includes the shaded areas here. This is the 100-foot buffer zone associated with the intermittent stream. There's not a lot of significant wetland vegetation in this stream. If you've been to the site, that was constructed by...
No, I'm fine right here.
Move it back if you want. That's basically a riprap swale that was constructed by State Highway likely, to relocate the river back in the day. So it's basically a large riprap. As part of that, they constructed a culverted area here, likely knowing that someday they'd need to access the upland portion of this property. That appears to be constructed at the same time. All the masonry and stone looks to be about the same age. So the work within the buffer zone again is shown here, and then there's a 100-foot buffer zone inside this other shaded right there area. Again, we were trying to push everything away from the resource areas here. The closest point of the project to the resource area is at the entrance at that culverted section. That was obviously chosen to minimize impacts to the resource area. Any other location would have had direct impacts in wetland fill. By working in this area, we've avoided all fill of any resource area. So what we need to do in this location is construct a roadway. There's already head walls located here, but to really grade this well and provide safe and adequate access, we do need to construct a couple of retaining walls. And we'll slope that down and stabilize that so there's no erosion or siltation of the intermittent stream in that location. Let's see. We prepared an erosion and sediment control plan. Essentially, the perimeter of the site is surrounded by a 10-inch silt sack. You can see that in the dashed red here. That's proposed at the limit of work, again, to mitigate any potential erosion or sedimentation toward the resource area. We are proposing a staging and stockpile area here. The idea is we'll gain access and utilize, cut the trees, utilize this area for construction of the road and likely the first phase. It's not really a multi-phase project, but this half will be built first. Then once the road is built and this is constructed, that will likely move out to this cul-de-sac for any staging or parking of construction equipment. We do have a few stockpile areas shown around the property. We are proposing to put silt sacks in the adjacent catch basins out in the roadway and also during construction of the houses and any other utilities that will be installed during the construction phase.
Is the electric going to be above ground or in the ground?
Electric's proposed to be in the ground.
In the ground.
Yeah. Let's go to sheet. Riverfront area. We took careful consideration of the performance standards for work in the riverfront area. General performance standard D, relating to no significant adverse impacts. The issuing authority may allow an alteration up to 5,000 square feet or 10% of the riverfront area, whichever is greater, on a lot that was recorded before October 1997. This site has 258,000 square feet of riverfront, shown in this entire shaded area in blue. The purple is the area we're proposing to alter within the riverfront. That's 24,000 square feet, plus or minus, which is a 9.3% disturbance. Under the bylaw, you're allowed to, the commission is allowed to permit those areas and consider it no adverse impacts unless there's other circumstances that beyond that. The other portion of that is that you're required to maintain an unaltered 100-foot riverfront area, which you can see we have provided here. Stormwater. Right on cue, Deb's here. I'm just bringing up stormwater. Stormwater system is comprised of deep sump-hooded catch basins, oil and grit separators, and a mix of subsurface infiltration systems and surface infiltration basins. The stormwater from the roadway up here is collected in catch basins and routed to oil and grit separator, and then there's a long, narrow subsurface infiltration basin located here. This has an overflow to this surface infiltration basin. There's also other catch basins along the road that route water to this as well. We also have catch basin here that routes stormwater to this infiltration basin, and then at the entrance, we've created a low point here at the entrance so that no water runs onto Washington Street, that everything from our driveway goes into here, anything beyond this catch basin goes into here, and then there's a subsurface drainage system located right here. There's another one located behind these buildings which pick up swales behind the buildings, catching runoff from the ground, as well as roof runoff. Each of these roofs are also tied into this subsurface basin. Utility plan. As you can see, there's quite a few utilities located. We're bringing water in across the existing entrance, trying not to disturb again the intermittent stream. We have electric, to follow that to the gas is also proposed, water services to each unit, electric to each unit. The septic system, each unit has its own septic tank. It's a local requirement from the Board of Health. Basically, this half of the units flows down to a pump chamber located here, and then it's pumped up to the leaching system that's up here. And then this half of the units gets to a pump chamber here, and then that gets pumped up to the leaching system. Again, we're very considerate of the Wetlands Protection Act. We tried to push everything as far from the resource area as we could. We provided erosion control plans. And as you can see, we're only working in this corner of the 10 acres. All of this is to be preserved and provide additional housing, and it's allowed use by special permit under the zoning bylaw. So I'll be happy to take any questions if you have them.
Where is your backup for your residual sewer system in the case of it needs to be redone? Would it be a dig out location, or do you have a secondary system location?
Yeah. So this sheet is showing that's our conventional system replacement. We're proposing a Presby system now. This thing. I'm not seeing it on here. This will have to go through the Board of Health. Yeah, Rick, I'm not seeing it on here. I know I believe it's adjacent to this, but I don't recall, and I'm not seeing it, so that layer might be frozen.
So it could potentially in the future exceed a little more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Chair, did you have any questions?
Yeah, are you all set, Rick?
Yes.
Thank you. Actually, I really don't. You covered everything, and if you can see, I highlighted the crap out of this thing, and I don't see anywhere where you don't comply.
Exactly.
You did the best you could where in every situation.
Thank you.
I have
So,
a few
anyone
questions.
else?
I have a few questions.
Go ahead.
So I think it's a part of your question. So the pump system that goes out to the leaching field, is that electrical? And do you have a backup plan if we lose power?
Good question.
Yes, we're gonna, let's see. We're gonna do generator there, right? Because I think we.
Those tanks would hold.
That's what I was wondering.
you have to be out for.
So again, it'll go through Board of Health, and the two ways that we address
That's a
that
bad spot if it does it.
is that we size the pump chambers to have 24-hour storage capacity for the flow from the entire development, or you're required to have a backup generator. And I don't recall at the moment which version we did. We do have the calculations on here.
There's a maintenance shed there, which we can keep the generator on there. It's just a one-off switch, so it's not anything.
It's probably pretty high voltage if it's a pump for that much sewer.
There's two.
Yeah, so there's two. All right, so we do have,
That's good though.
we have 24-hour storage capacity in each of those pump chambers. That actually was,
I think what she brought up is a very valid thing, for both your residents, commercially and residential, and it should be addressed. Because I think 24 hours, we all have had more than 24 hours without power. We all have.
And just out of curiosity, so the leaching field, you're proposing driveway or road on top of that?
correct.
And what might be the impact if you didn't do that and it was just greenery, grass, open space?
We would have to move it in an area, either eliminate buildings or eliminate more woodland. The systems are capable of being under roadways with proper construction on top of them to create H20 loading capability.
And so if you decided not to do gravel or driveway and put grass on top of that, that's not an ideal state.
We ultimately, we need this turnaround for
For fire,
emergency
yeah,
emergency
emergency, yeah,
vehicles
exactly.
and convenience. You have deliveries all the time. It's going to be very convenient.
Okay. One last question on the entry driveway. Are you proposing a bridge over the intermittent
So
waterway?
so there's already a culvert in place. So we're going to utilize that. We need to enhance it a little bit for a 24-foot wide drive. Right now, it just slopes really steeply on the shoulders, so we need to create some shoulders, and then we're going to add some walls for a short section and slope it pretty much similar to what it is now, but just make it a little bit wider.
Are you adding to the pipe length as well?
No, we don't need to.
Wow.
We just need to get that grade back
Yeah,
down to meet
exactly.
existing grade. At that location, we'll just build the wall up just a little bit.
Like a head wall.
Yep, and then wing it around.
Thank you, those were my questions.
Anyone else?
I have questions, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
So I have a couple of things. So you made mention, or it was mentioned that emergency vehicles need to access the property. Have you received comments from the Pembroke Fire Department, and is this plan subject to change pending their further review?
It's always subject to change with the fire department. We're going to recontact them. This project has been ongoing for a while. We initially contacted them. Planning board had the same comment. We are actively responding to their comments, and one of them is that, so we will talk with them.
Okay. I have more questions.
But I don't think the limit of work is going to change, because we've sort of maximized the riverfront and our setbacks to bordering vegetated wetland, et cetera.
Could we include witch hazel as a first primary canopy in the forested area and on the edges? Because that's what it's really good for.
Any issues?
It's a common,
Sounds good to
basically
me.
shrub. So it's the first canopy in the forest and on the edges of. And they're really nice.
I had additional questions. So you made mention in the planning board meeting that, actually, I want to first acknowledge and provide appreciation to you for the fact that you have the ability under certain bylaws to get up to 30 units here, but you're proposing 22. So I don't want to leave that unacknowledged, because that is
Thank you.
something else that's very honorable. I do have additional questions though, because it does appear that we are going to need more information. So, how many trees are proposed to be removed? Okay, so we need that. And I was also wondering, in the previous planning board meeting, it was mentioned that the pump chambers needed to be raised so that the crew wasn't digging down 20 feet. Does that mean that the groundwater was higher in that location? What were
That
they
was-
referring to?
Yeah, I was explaining why we went to 2 chambers
Okay.
instead of 1.
Okay,
It's just because of the run, not breaking it into 2, deepened the single chamber option. Once
Okay.
we broke it into 2, we were able to raise them
more
up.
shallow. Okay, got it. And then, let's see, sorry. And then I guess I was just wondering if you might be able to quantify the amount of buffer zone and BVW that would be disturbed, because I only saw quantification for the riverfront area.
Yep. So, no BVW.
Oopsies.
Buffer zone disturbance. Between the 50 and 100 is 21,000 square feet. 35 to 50 is 6,100. And 0 to 35 was 8,100.
Thank you.
So, yep. Basically, that 8,100 is to create safe sight lines along the shoulder of the state highway and to gain access to the site, trying to get that away from the resource area as fast as possible. And then 35 to 100. That's this sliver here. And then this is the buffer zone, 50 to 100.
Okay. I'm sorry, I do have so many questions, but it just kind of seems that we need to maybe take a site visit just to verify the vegetation within the culvert / perennial stream area. So I'm hoping that maybe someone may be able to make a motion to continue this hearing to the next meeting so that we can have further investigation in the meantime.
What do you want to investigate?
Just take a look and verify the vegetation, because we don't have any pictures, so I'd just
Yeah.
like to see it in person.
Number of trees, things like that, what's going to be
We
taken.
want
and all that.
quantified trees.
She's not asking about the delineation. She's asking about the vegetation associated with the
clearing.
The delineation and clearing. So it's not a question about the delineation of the resource areas, correct?
Yeah, no, because that was in the
Yep.
past.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. We would just like to, if it's all right with you, take a site visit. Now that we have an idea of the level of disturbance that is proposed, just kind of take a look at that isolated area, because when the ORAD came before us, it was like, we know the stream is there, we know this is here, and that's a lot of ground to cover, but now that we have the specific area to hone in on, I think it would be a good idea to just maybe see it first before we continue on. And there's additional information that's still pending. So I'm just hoping that we may be able to continue so that if you're amicable to it, just to have all the information in front of us to make our decision.
There's general performance standards. You mentioned replication, but I believe that's...
I think that's, so that is
Pardon?
Basically, I just copied that section.
Right, yes.
So
So-
replication is
There
it's
is no plan for any replication.
correct. That section of the bylaw that's pasted in here is
Yes.
for properties that were created after October 1997. It was created prior to, that section doesn't necessarily apply. I mean, we're having a conversation about protecting the resource area, so everything we can talk about, but,
The area in contention, does it involve the general performance standard and the amount of area that is proposed for disturbance that qualifies for no significant adverse
Adverse impacts.
effects? Is that what you're concerned about?
No, I simply,
Like the number of trees.
yeah, any resource areas or any areas that are being disturbed, I'm just hoping that we may be able to maximize placing them back, because there's a lot of lawn that's proposed here. And there's irrigation wells are proposed. So my thought is that instead of utilizing lawn and drawing down water in that wet, rich area where the soil benefits from the water that's there, perhaps we consider using native plantings and putting back what is being taken away. That is my thought. And I'd like to see the site to just verify what is present.
we are recharging a significant portion of the runoff that we're collecting from the impervious surfaces, both from the roofs directly to dry wells and also from the runoff from the street, which will be treated by a treatment train of BMPs, providing 44% TSS removal prior to infiltration. So total suspended solids will go through 2 treatment BMPs before infiltration. And then through the treatment train with somewhere in 90% treatment after you get through those.
The reason I had brought up the witch hazel is that it's a first-story canopy, which would be your best way to protect the sun from coming into a big hole you make on the edges, you know? That's why I brought that up. You're kind of the same line as she's thinking, but just more direct.
Right. I guess I would ask the rest of the commission, do they want a site walk? And then secondly, I have no idea how to quantify the amount of trees in the,
But aren't the trees in question only in that area that's being disturbed within the buffer zone?
That's a good question, Andy. So it's just jurisdictional trees.
Okay.
We don't really,
beyond that.
we can't request that you quantify every single tree that's being disturbed ever on this
Right,
parcel.
just the
It's
ones
not
that-
within our
right, just-
jurisdiction.
You need to do a stump count within the area.
But we do need to
That's what
have that, and we need to know what our backup system is for the septic, and we need to know.
Well, the septic is a Board of Health issue.
Right.
It is,
Yep.
but it's still good for us to have the idea of what's going on there, because if something additional is going to be required in the future, then additional disturbance is going to potentially be made. based on that.
Any was a wetlands review done?
Yes.
Is it possible we might be able to see that report to get an idea of the
Well,
species?
you guys approved it. You
We did.
approved the NRAD, you
Right.
approved an ORAD.
Right.
That was peer reviewed back in late 2025. You may not have been at those meetings, Joe. What about the landscape plan? About you have an approximate number of trees that you're proposing to plant as part of the landscape plan?
So we did provide our landscape architect prepared a landscape plan. The deciduous trees include red maple, honey locust. It looks like we have linden, 2, 4, 6, 17 trees. evergreens, we have 47 evergreens, red cedars, white pines, eastern dogwood, and then some clump trees, looks like 17 clump trees, 9 sweet pepper bush, 25 high bush blueberry, and then 7,500 square feet of New England conservation and wildlife mix. That's along the,
The limit of work, basically.
yeah. That's located in here. Oh, and along. Beyond the areas that will be functional open space for the eventual owners of this site. It's not a large open space where you can, play wiffle ball or have a football game. Everything's going to be reduced to smaller, usable spaces, more like patios and fire pits and.
Marshmallows on a stick.
Yep.
Would it be unreasonable to request that the conservation seed mix be used throughout the yard area? I mean, I'm imagining it's probably clover and stuff. I mean, would uses less water?
Typically, this we intend not to maintain and let that go wild to enhance except for right along the edge of right here.
I'm sorry, what are the plans for the infiltration basin that's next to that unit that's closest to the road?
What are they?
I'm sorry, I thought I saw in one of the plans an infiltration basin, bottom left, the unit on the bottom left. I believe there was a spot designated for a basin there.
Yep, it's basically in this location here.
So what is that gonna look like?
Big depression.
Yeah, so that'll be seeded with water tolerant basin mix.
Free of invasives?
Yes, and maintained, that you need to maintain the stormwater system. So probably it's a low mow, water resistant, you mow it twice a year.
Basically, just keep the hardwoods out of it, the root systems, right?
Correct.
Stuff and get
You don't want it to
back.
get choked out.
Right.
We're not allowed to. I actually would prefer if we could let
Yep.
it stay as a depression and have some plants in
Yeah,
it.
there's a bunch of Russian olive.
Yep. Well, that's what
You know?
Can I clarify something? Are you talking about the 100-foot buffer zone or the 200-foot zone?
So
Just to
there's
clarify.
mostly the 100, the 200 is associated with the riverfront zone,
Riverfront.
which is here.
Yeah.
The work within the 100-foot buffer is primarily this section here, which is close to State Highway,
Yeah.
Route 53, and this just one small area here, which just backs the large overstory away from this building, so there's no trees falling on it.
And the area in the buffer zone towards the highway, how much vegetation is there that has to be removed?
It's a white pine woodland that hasn't been cleared in, I don't know, there's 100-year-old pines there probably. They're pretty good size. It does get, the overstory does get a little bit bigger here. This is a little less, it gets, I don't think the soils are quite as good up near the street here, so I think the trees are a little bit stunted. The white pines really like the sandy soils, so they basically get a lot bigger as you get back onto the property. And this really falls off to the river back here. So this is a plateau.
I saw that arborvitae's were also proposed in the 10-foot, like swatch of area behind the retaining wall as well.
Yep.
So I'm just, I guess, take into consideration our previous discussions in this meeting on that, or if the landscape architect could, that would be good.
I would like to see some North Atlantic white cedars put in when possible, but you know, the deer, they're just deer candy. So.
They love it.
It's hard to get that 3-year start.
I've had good success with the green giants, and I know they create a nice barrier between properties.
Yeah.
I've seen them, 20-foot walls,
Yeah. With the missing 4 or 5 feet on the bottom. They stock out really nice, but you have to have something under them later, that's all.
Yeah.
That's how I would say you deal with the deer, is put something in that they don't eat, which I have no idea what that is.
It depends on how bad the winter is.
The blue spruce are probably your better bet as far as the pricklies.
They don't seem to go after the green giants.
Yeah, they're
No?
deer resistant.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare say anything.
Again, if you're hungry, you'll eat anything, but
They're amazing.
So I need the number of trees.
Yeah.
We need to see the vegetation.
Another thing to clarify, up against the highway, that's classified as an intermittent stream, correct?
correct.
Okay. Does that still get 100-foot buffer zone? Or-
Yeah, so the wetland scientists delineated it as also as a BVW, and even the intermittent stream gets it. There isn't a lot of wetland vegetation there because it's
Right.
basically a dug ditch
It's a-
that you can fall into.
Yeah.
Where there's water.
Yeah, they basically were directing the
Draining along the
water,
highway.
yeah, along
what
the
they
edge of
do.
the highway here.
They drain those.
Yep, when they built this.
It's basically
When
a
they
highway
widened it.
swale.
Yep,
That's what it is when they built it.
yep.
So would you say it's sparsely
But
vegetated?
yes, the wetland vegetation is very sparse here. Again, it's a riprap swale that you can trip over the riprap and fall into it. I've walked it numerous times, trying to figure out if this was a perennial stream first of all, and then surveying it, and then doing test holes, and then walking the site. Lots of poison ivy along the guardrail in particular.
Oh, yeah. Loves the salt.
Yep,
And the site's already flagged, right?
yes.
Okay.
I think it's just a matter of figuring out what trees, and as far as your replanting and stuff,
Yep,
I do like to see witch hazels along the edge, because they are the first canopy in the forest around wet area. That's where they're nice, and they're not used a lot, but they need to be put back because they were taken out of here for their commercial value. Just
Andy?
like the white cedars.
Sorry. Andy, I have a question, if that's okay. So when Merrill was the peer review for the planning board, did they do, I didn't see anything, but did they do any analysis with respect to the Wetlands Protection Act, or was it just strictly stormwater, strictly the local bylaws that pertain to the planning board?
Well, Deb, maybe you can answer that question.
Hi, Deb. I know you're back there. Thanks, sir. I'm so sorry, thank you.
Good evening. So, to clarify, I did not review this under the wetland, for conservation, so it was strictly for site plan reviews and stormwater compliance.
Okay.
So looking at it from a stormwater management perspective but not from a wetland buffer and resource.
Okay, awesome, thanks so much.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
All right. We can do two things. First, I would ask is if we were going to close, is everybody comfortable with
Well,
that
before you do
or
that,
not?
Mr. Chair, you do have public comment.
Yeah, but I'm just asking ahead of time in lieu of a continuation. If the board is not comfortable, then we can make a motion for a continuation, or we can try to move forward.
Could I also throw out one other possibility, if that's okay, Mr. Chair?
Please do.
So either we do a site visit, or we do a peer review under the Wetlands Protection Act, or we do both. In the interest of time, I understand there are certain circumstances that we need to be aware of with respects to this property.
Well, I'm not 100% sure a peer review is in order, but I believe we can order one.
Yeah, but who do you have, are you working with John Zimmer on this?
Correct.
Yeah, so John Zimmer has done some work for you, Kevin,
Yes.
on this?
Yep.
And John is doing everything under the Wetlands Protection Act.
Correct.
So
So we're,
would you feel more comfortable if, you've got the narrative here, and generally, in many cases, not all, but in many cases, we do have the wetland scientist who worked with the applicant give a memo that may clear up some of those questions that you may have. So, Mr. McGill, would you be willing to share a memo from Mr. Zimmer on this review of the plan?
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to provide that.
Thank you.
And that would satisfy the peer review?
Well, it's a memo from the wetland scientist saying that it's been reviewed under the Wetlands Protection Act,
Right.
and this is why they came to this plan.
That's right, so that would satisfy the requirement that we're looking for. And then we can get back to continuing till the next meeting, if that's agreeable.
I still want to see the site, I'm sorry.
What, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm still debating whether I'm gonna make that motion or not, we haven't closed yet.
If we're continuing anyway, is that?
Yeah, we'll continue anyway, so that covers it, right?
Can't
Oh, say it louder.
say it again.
Are we continuing,
Well,
or are we going to close? If we're gonna close, I would
I
suggest we continue to do
believe
that walkthrough.
I'm going to ask for a motion to continue and till the next meeting,
Motion to continue?
which is June 4th,
July
2026.
2nd.
July,
July 2nd.
June,
July 7th.
June, yeah. Oh, okay, July. There it is, July 2nd.
And we will review the report in the meantime.
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So look at what's there for trees that are in our jurisdiction, what isn't, because what isn't is not our business.
Yeah.
All right, so you've continued the public hearing until July 2nd, 2026.
That is correct.
And the proposed backup.
See it, so people,
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
are you taking public comment tonight?
I have a question.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hi.
You're
Lisa Tex.
here, so go
Hi,
ahead.
Lisa Texera. This meeting tonight, if you guys had not continued it, were you giving a permit to the builder to go forward with his plans or not, is my question. And also, is this information supposed to be available to abutters? And were we supposed to be notified? Because we were not. Again, for the second time.
That's a real
Well,
good reason.
the public notice goes out.
Well,
There was no public notice.
Well, there was a public notice in the Patriot Ledger. Now, Kevin, do you have the green cards back from the certified mailing?
Yeah, I believe we emailed them to,
And when was that performed? Because you put your notice of intent on April 2nd for this meeting.
Yeah, and the
And
abutters
nothing has come out
and the-
since then.
and the-
We've received
Yes,
nothing.
you're right. Now, the abutters hadn't been notified in time for that public hearing, one of the reasons why it was continued, or not continued, but not opened until tonight. Now, subsequent to that, I believe that Grady has done the notification. We do have the affidavit for the notification in the Patriot Ledger. Yeah, okay.
These have been emailed to you.
Okay.
And this is from, the list comes from the assessors, certified butters list, everybody on that list has
So
been notified.
can I ask which one? Because we got notification for the planning board meeting, but not for conservation. And there's clearly two different, you guys have two different departments
Yeah.
here.
No,
So
the requirements are different for the amount of feet. So I believe
Correct.
the planning board is 300 feet, and I believe the Conservation Commission is 100 feet.
Right, but they're talking about working within that 100-feet buffer.
No, it has nothing to do with the buffer zone.
That has to do with the butters.
It has to do with the butters, correct.
Okay, so if tonight's had not been continued and you guys had signed off and closed it, would there have been a permit issued by the Conservation Committee to allow the builder to go forward?
Just as clarification, no.
As a clarification?
Just as clarification. No, hold
No,
on, just for clarification for you.
Yes, for
So-
clarification for us to understand as a butters.
Right.
Where things are changing, because I believe Ms. Pelletier's concerns are very valid. You guys did your site planning back in December after a year of a drought. That's when your ORAD went across. What this property, I understand that, but the property, as you said, it's perennial. There's varying times during the year that things change. And right now, this is a very different area than what you guys looked at. And so our concerns are that the evaluation of the whole property and the evaluation for your conservation committee is you have to look at everything and understand how it's impacting during 4 seasons, not just one. So that's what I'm asking. I believe that Ms. Pelletier's request is very viable and reasonable to look at your site plan, because you told me you walked it last December. It's a totally different animal right now. We're abutters that live on this property and have walked it all seasons for many, many years to have seen what this property does. And I think that it's only reasonable to ask that it be evaluated in that fashion across seasons to determine what the impact of a development is going to be on it. Because right now, you're talking one section, you've got 2 other sections that potentially will be developed down the road, because you've now subdivided it. And that also potentially changes what your ORAD. Your ORAD went across as the whole lot. You've now subdivided it into 3. So doesn't your ORAD change? Because now you're talking one lot out of 3.
You bring up an interesting point.
I don't think the ORAD changes.
But the notice of intent should.
Well,
Or the development.
But if required, there'll be an additional notice of intent.
Okay.
For each parcel, there could be a notice of intent, depending on where the work proposed is being, is being cited.
Okay.
So just a clarification of permitting.
Yep.
The commission does no permitting.
Right.
What they do is they issue an order of conditions that allows the work to go forward.
Okay.
Okay? So permitting would happen in the building department. There's also the Board of Health that has to review the septic as part of any approvals. And as part of the order of conditions, one of the conditions is all other permits and approvals have to be adhered to.
Correct.
Or sought.
Okay.
Okay?
That's fine. That's what I'm trying to clarify, is to understand what this board's decisions, how they impact what this property
Right.
is going for.
And also the area under consideration here for bordering, all right, within the buffer zone is a small portion of the overall site. So the commission only has jurisdiction over the jurisdictional areas, which are any work being proposed within the 100-foot buffer or the 200-foot riverfront area.
Which is being proposed on this.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, so it's that leftmost side. So if you see those blue dashed lines, it's everything to the left of those blue
Correct.
dashed lines to the street. And
Right.
then-
So
do you want to
this-
point it out to her? I'm
this
sorry,
stuff
you
here-
may speak. It's your plan, so please.
Yeah, no problem. This blue line.
Yep.
Everything here.
And those 2 that are within that zone.
Purple
And then that's the river, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a concern, because if you're disrupting this, how is it impacting the rest of this area.
But it may not be within their jurisdiction.
Yes,
And I understand that, but that's what I am trying to understand, is whose jurisdiction is where. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Couple quick things on the delineation. We followed the regulations, wetland scientists delineated it. It was found, et cetera, It's in the open. And just to go back to the site visit, I believe you guys have the right to access. I'd be happy to meet you there sometime if you want to take a look.
Yes, please.
Well,
Yeah, there's no harm in having, since we've
set it up.
continued, there's no
Yep.
harm in having a site visit,
Right,
and
exactly.
we can arrange something,
Yeah, please set it up.
yeah.
Is the public allowed to?
You are allowed to attend, yes, you
How
are.
would we know when
Come
this
through
is
my
happening?
yard, because it butts the back end.
How would we know when the site
Yeah, but
visit is happening?
I think you're far enough away that we wouldn't want to go through your yard, we'd have
Oh,
to.
there's an entrance,
All right.
wooded entrance.
Yes, if you're interested,
I believe that has to be an open meeting, other than a
well, it
site
can
walk.
be if there's a quorum present. If there's a quorum
Right.
present, then we have to,
you
we
can't.
have to post the agenda 48 hours in advance. If you wish to do that, if you wish to allow the public to attend, I'm more than happy to make that work for you.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Typically, that's not how we typically do it. I can't remember the last time we invited the public to a site to
Also
walk
the
private
liability
property.
issues, correct?
Yep,
Yeah, there are liability issues with that.
Yeah.
I may have to just double check that with the,
yeah, I'm going to.
yeah, I'll have to double check that with the.
It's unusual, that's the only reason I
Yeah,
bring it up.
Yeah, for, I mean, I've checked
Yeah, but we
myself
may
out.
not be able to have you sign a waiver.
It's also my backyard.
Just take a look from your town, your line. I just wanted to clarify something too, like all of the questions that I have this evening, they're not calling into question the expertise or the thoroughness of everything that you've brought before us, because I really do think that you, at least this is an opinion thing, but you've done every single thing that you possibly can, with the exception of very few small things. As Gina was saying, so thorough. There's so much that's been outlined before us, and you've covered a lot of ground. It's just that there are a couple of things that need to be verified, and so when you bring us the information in your application, it's up to us to make sure to corroborate those things, because once we accept the project, it becomes the fact for the town.
I'd also like to see where the secondary sewer system is located, that's just standard, or is it a dig out if you have to?
No, we're required to have it, so it's there, I just, in the 30 sheets, I'm.
Yeah, and again, that's under the jurisdiction of the Department, the Board of Health.
Right. I'd still like to see where it's gonna be for conservation.
I have it noted.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, so
Thank
until
you so
next
much.
month.
Do we want to set a date while we're here, or how do we do this?
You can do that if you wish to do it.
To set a date
Yeah, I've only seen.
Uh,
for a site visit?
For a site walk, especially while we have
And they were all
the
butters
applicant
and
here,
they walked through the woods
that's
to get
probably a
there.
good idea.
Copperwood, over on Birch Street.
You want to set it up?
Usually, it's more convenient for the board to have it on a Saturday, as a lot of people are working. If you're all available during the week, we could do that too.
I'm available.
What works for you? What works for you?
I'm available during the week, all the way through the 22nd, when school gets up. So let's see. So we want to shoot for next week just to get it out of the way?
Yeah, that would be great.
Great.
Okay.
That's custom, Get it done.
And again, just for clarification for the folks in the room who are here tonight, we may not be able to have you on that sidewalk.
Can I ask why?
Because
You
of
guys
a-
still own the property. He's only putting
I know,
it
it
is
could-
under a purchase and
No, it could
sale.
be a liability issue. I've got to check with the town manager's office on that,
Even though everyone wants it all the time.
even though everyone walks it all the time.
Okay,
And you're willing, I'll ask that question too.
thank you.
How will we know if we are?
Yeah, you're going to have to get in touch with me. unless you've given me your, if you would like to give me email and phone number.
There was nothing on top, it was just a blank piece of it.
Does everybody have June 11th open by chance? The
We've
morning
got-
of June
yeah,
11th?
Most folks did.
Yeah,
The
the other
11th.
pages were blank.
I don't think it,
That's about.
Would you like to add
Yeah,
it?
like
Please.
3.
What day is it? Is it Tuesday?
Meeting every day, 5 days a week.
yes.
Well, it's not a
Do we
Tuesday.
need to do a Saturday then?
Let me look.
So, you folks,
Soccer's over, so it doesn't matter what you know.
what's your name? Okay, so I know which or which. And, actually, we'll start. Sure. If you don't wish to do so, that's fine.
So whoever wants to go, does the 11th sound good?
As we check off.
What day does it come on?
So
Thursday.
we were gonna
Thursday.
try and get Mrs. Campbell on the deck too, and she believes that she has to work, so we're looking at the calendar for potentially a Saturday.
The 13th.
There is Saturday, the 13th coming up. That's,
I could try to meet you at noon on the 11th,
Oh, really?
but I couldn't stay very long.
and again, if we're gonna,
Could do the 12th.
this doesn't have to be limited to one, it should, just for the convenience of everyone involved, be limited to one site visit, but if you're not going to have a quorum,
Then- Yeah, we don't.
we could have a couple of walks for the commission. All right. In other words, if
Well-
people can't make it, if everyone feels that they need to be at, that they need to attend the site walk, if we need to, we may be able to set up multiples if,
Okay,
right? But we
Okay,
need to
thank you.
determine whether there's gonna be a quorum at this or not.
fair.
I prefer the weekend.
Okay, you prefer a weekend? Right.
Well,
Saturday the 13th?
Saturday the 13th.
I
You guys
can't.
have the 13th?
You can't on the 13th, Laura?
No, but I can't do either. I can't do the 13th,
Well,
but that's fine if
we
you
don't
don't
all
need me.
have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you don't all need to attend. So
Okay.
if you want to do the 13th, what time? It's usually good to get these things done earlier rather than later.
Yep.
You got the kids, what time?
Bring your bug repellent, tick repellent.
The earlier the better, because if it's gonna be hot.
9 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yeah, I'll bring the coffee.
Ooh.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was the day?
Would you be available on the 13th?
Yeah,
Which is a
that's kinda
Saturday?
key.
Or do we
Quadruple
want to?
fees on Saturdays.
Oh!
Saturday,
What day was it again?
yeah, but Don's going to pay for that, so. Saturday, June 13th, 9 a.m.
All right, yeah.
Make that money, honey.
Okay.
I have a food truck, I'll just like bring friends.
Party at your future property, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We'll send you the
so,
invite.
Mr. Chair, there's a couple of other pieces of business.
Yes, are we all set now with that?
Yes,
Okay.
so we, did we do a motion to continue? We did
Yes.
a motion to
Yes.
continue,
You
we
did.
did a motion, okay, so then we're all set with this, yes, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your patience, and thank you for your accommodation and everything, so appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys. Okay, we got a certificate of compliance, 50 Christina Drive, DEP number 056-0473.
Good evening.
Andy, you wanna,
Yeah,
you
so
wanna
this is-
describe?
This is an interesting,
I do too, but I thought maybe I
you
missed
see them all the time, all kinds of different things with these certificates of compliance. So this certificate of compliance was actually issued back in 2021, but it was never recorded at the registry, so a duplicate certificate must be approved by you so we can get it recorded. And the land, and of course, the house is changing hands, so. Just need a motion to approve the certificate of compliance.
Make a motion.
Okay, who would like to make that motion?
I'll
Well,
make a motion
I
to
believe
approve the
Mr.
certificate
Matt,
of compliance
Okay, so Mr. Madden made the motion.
50 Christina Marie
to-
Drive, DEP number 056-0473. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Okay, and meeting minutes,
They're complete.
any objections to approving the minutes as written?
Zero. None.
Okay, hearing none, the minutes are accepted as written. That is that. So, any objections to having any further discussion? Is there closing the meeting?
I have a couple of comments I would like to make.
Oh, that's right, sorry.
Sorry.
I thought that's what he was asking you.
You have the floor,
About 7 years ago today, I started as a Conservation Commission member amidst a controversial board turnover. I was soon elected to the board as chairman. It sounded good, but really had no idea how to lead a board or how to manage some controversial conflicts. Over the next few years, I participated in commission activities, visiting job sites, advising applicants on how to navigate our extensive set of rules based on the DEP and adjusted by the town of Pembroke. I saw some great projects in Pembroke where I had input which affected the design, allowing perhaps a bit more environmentally friendly construction. The second time I was board chairman proved to be even more challenging than the first time, including some very high-profile proposals, which I won't discuss anymore. But to finish my work here at Conservation, I want to express my frustration at being unable to accomplish two projects that I feel should have been taken care of long ago. One is the reconstruction of the signs at Tumps Meadow. This is a first-class property that deserves an update, allowing the people of Pembroke to more fully appreciate its beauty. The current signs are hidden in the woods, basically. Now they're all overgrown. Pembroke's newest park, the Lahi property on Barker Street across from the Herring Run. There's construction debris in the front of the yard. It's been there for a couple of years now, and I've been trying to get it removed, and it's still there. I know they're going to be doing some renovations in there, and I hope that these can be taken out soon. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say here is that being a member of the Conservation Commission has been a great learning experience, and I would recommend that anyone interested take part in the commission or another town board. I'm pretty sure I'll be reappearing in some capacity on some other town board, but now is the time to let someone else have this seat on the Conservation Commission. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
I'm glad I could help.
We'll get those signs. Don't you worry. And Labby too.
Okay, you don't need to stay in
My
session
list would have
to
been
sign
much
these,
bigger.
but
Oh, yeah, I had a couple other things.
Now you can just be a bee in our bonnet.
We're closed now, right?
yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And there's no other further business.
That's all, we're just signing. Okay, motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second. No, not seconds.
Please, for the love of God, let him know.
All in favor?
Aye.
You, Robert?